are and what you do, basically.
My name is MC Lars. I make post-punk laptop rap music on my computer. I've been doing it about 8 years, and this is like my 20th time to the UK.
Who would you define as your musical influences?
I grew up on like the Beastie Boys, Snoop Dogg, KRS-One, Weird Al, and then the punk rock stuff like Minor Threat, Green Day, Offspring, Dead Kennedys. So all that came together. I used to play in punk bands, and then I discovered hip hop.
Yeah.
Now I do like punk style hip hop.
Because several of your tracks take inspiration from English and American literature. What do you find so inspirational about those texts and words and stuff like that?
I like to call that genre lit hop, and what I do is I majored in English literature in university, so I realized when you write a song, it's like writing an essay. Like your verses are your defending statements, your thesis is your chorus.
Yeah.
And poetry is just when it's iambic tetrameter, the da dun da dun da dun da dun, that's rap.
Yeah.
So it's like the poems and the poetry, it's the same thing. It's just a 21st century way.
Yeah.
So it all comes together, and like I feel like studying that stuff gave me the license and the jump off point to do hip hop. You know what I mean?
Because in 2006 you released The Graduate on Network Records. Were you surprised at how fast you established a fan base because you went on tours around America, the UK, Japan, stuff like that?
It was that 2006 was a good year. Like a lot of the bands like Simple Plan and Bowling for Soup and all those bands took me on tour, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been able to keep building it. And now my own label, Horse Records, I run that label, and we just put out Weird Science. He's the ex-drummer of Coheed and Cambria, and he does hip hop, and we did his album. So it's fun. We're doing Warped Tour this summer. Like, it keeps building, and then I'm gonna do. My next plan is to do a pilot for a kids TV show, hip hop educational TV show.
All right.
So that's the fall. That's what I'm doing in the fall.
Yeah. Because a 15-year-old girl called Elisa messaged you that like she was being sued.
Yo, you did your research, bro.
I know my research. Yeah, we did it about a Recording Industry Association, and your label and like many other major label artists got involved to support her. Were you surprised at like how well supported you got cases?
I mean, dude, that was really inspirational. Yeah, what happened was my management company was also my label, and they also did Avril Lavigne's.
Yeah.
They were Avril Lavigne's management company. So she was like, yeah, I got sued for downloading Skater Boy by the RIAA, and they paid for her legal fees. She was able to fight them, and unfortunately they didn't win, but I think that case was like a landmark case, and now RIAA doesn't sue people. People realize the new media economics. You can't chase your fan base, you know?
Yeah, because is that where the inspiration for Download This Song come from, right?
Exactly, man. It's new media economics, because like there's this quote by Martin Atkins, who's the drummer for Ministry.
Yeah.
He said, it's not a problem if 30,000 people download your album, it's a problem if 30,000 people don't. Download it for free. Which means like you need people to hear your stuff because there's so much content. You need to give people access and encourage them. And like on this tour we sold so many t-shirts. Like that's how I pay my rent, not through CDs.
Yeah.
And as long as you embrace that and you're not in denial, you run your own label, everyone is happy. Especially me.
Yeah. Because you've supported quite a few pop punks and like rock acts. Why do you think they think you're suitable to be like their support act because of you being like rapid sort of style?
Dude, I think it comes down to the energy and the flavor that we bring, and like it's a punk show with hip hop music. You know, if you listen to the old Public Enemy records like Takes a Nation of Millions and Fear of a Black Planet, they sound like punk records, you know what I mean? Like the production is loud and the energy's there, it's political, it's the same energy, it's just, you know, it's hip hop is black punk music. And so, like, as everything comes together, like, the genres fuse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's dope.
Because in 2008 and 2009, you worked with Weird Al Yankovic, Jarrett Reddick, and many more. What would they like to work alongside?
Jarrett has been incredibly giving. He's been one of the most amazing supporters of my career, and to do songs with him, to tour with him. He put out my last album, Robot Kills. Like, Bowling for Soup have been like big brothers to me, and I always loved them. I have nothing but good things to say about them. Weird Al was a big influence on me growing up. The way he'd make albums with so many genres, like with him, there was no limit with what he could do sonically.
Yeah.
And to work with him and have him be a fan and talk to him and like have him, you know, tweet about my album and stuff. It's just like there's nothing like that. To have your childhood hero promote your music, and say nice things about you. He got in touch with me, you know. He heard
that's
about
even
me.
better.
Yeah.
Which who would your like dream collaboration be with if you could? What sort of?
You know, if you'd asked me like a few months ago, I would have said KRS-One, and he's one of the original founding fathers of hip hop. And actually, we did a track together for my album called The Gospel of Hip Hop. So I don't know. That was like one of the last people I've really wanted to work with.
Yeah, because you mentioned that you're good mates with Jarrett, and you said that he's doing the distribution on his label Crappy Records. How has that supported your record label of Paris Records?
They were really helpful with getting it in stores. The last album was through Universal, and they got it in stores and helping like with the taking me on tour. Like now though, I don't think physical retail is as important. My new album Lars Attacks, we did Kickstarter, which is a site where fans can fund the album.
Yeah.
And Weird Science and I raised together $30,000 to do our albums, and so like we don't really need the physical retail because that can be such a monetary loss. You know, because iTunes there's no overhead, and you can like we're just doing it on tour and selling from the websites now. So as record stores close, like it's not as important, but all that support and awesomeness has been great. But when you put your album in stores, it's harder to recoup because you have so much cost. You know.
Yeah.
So Robot Kills, we never recouped on it, but one day we will.
Because you mentioned that you've took on Weird Science, Josh Epper. How is it working alongside him, and how's it been for your record label to have him on it?
It's been great. I mean, I've been a fan of his since '05. I love him because his concepts are off the wall. His energy is incredible. His production is awesome. Like as a drummer, he has a crazy flow. He's really fun to rap with. Like we become really good friends. And all artists, it's a little crazy managing an artist, like working with him. But he does so much on his own. And we'll see. Like the album is out, and we won't see the numbers for a few weeks. But we got a really good pre-order on it.
Yeah.
Because that album, really, Sick Kids had been done for so long, and I wanted to help them finally release it.
Yeah. Because are you looking at taking on any more acts or?
I'm learning. I kind of want to more focus on making music because being on the phone all day and that's fine. But like, I'd rather do music. I'd rather hire people to run the label and then sign other artists, but not be the guy who has to do all the accounting because that's not so fun. I'd rather be writing rhymes and touring.
Yeah,
you know.
Because you mentioned about Lars Attack. Is there any type into like who you're collaborating with and stuff like that?
Yeah, man, that album. One of my favorite KRS-One, I mentioned Sage Francis, who's an indie rapper from Rhode Island. Weird Science is on a bunch of tracks. A lot of industrial stuff like this guy Christoph, who used to sing in a band called Lyle, a hardcore band from Long Island. This rapper John Rubin. It's less pop punky stuff, but it's more heavy. Like it's more like there's dubstep and like hardcore like kind of stuff and industrial. So it's different, but it's more honest. And there's some really poppy stuff.
Because we're here at Slam Dunk today. Is there any specific acts you're looking forward to seeing, or?
You know, I love 303. They're a lot of fun. Less Than Jake is fun. Failsafe, my friends I've toured with a bunch. There's a lot of good stuff.
Because is it good being back in the UK? Because it is sort of like your second home because of how regularly you come back. Do you enjoy coming here this afternoon, or is it just accustomed to it now?
No, it's awesome. I've been here like 20 times.
Which, for anyone who hasn't seen you live, what should they expect?
Well, we got video, we got a drummer, the Weird Science and I rapping. It's kind of like a punk fusion, but there's no guitars. It's just live drums and beats and samples. It's like a